Hello astrology lovers, welcome to AstroBasic, the first place to learn astrology. I'm Jayant Kumar and I'll be your host for today's session from AstroBasic channel. So far we have discussed about introduction of Vedic astrology, then planets, then house, then planets strength, and then we discuss about moon chart, Arudha Lagna, how to calculate and all those things. Those things I have discussed before discussing these topics or upcoming topics. The reason behind that is you should know all the basic concept of astrology. That's why I have covered all the only basic things. I didn't go into detail which can confuse you. So I just gave you very basic before that. So now only I will also discuss on the basic first, and then we will take example and we will use all the basic concept so that you can understand this astrology. The core purpose of this channel to make you understand so that you can use it in your daily life. So today's topic is marriage and the horoscope houses. The house which are impacting marriage, means marriage event or marital life. So those houses we are going to discuss today. So the first thing comes for the marriage is 7th house. Means first house is yourself and 7th house is like your partner. The 7th house is a legally marriage which we say in society that represents that. That's your relationship with the spouse and partnership and all those things that represent by the 7th house. So if you have to judge the marriage, the first thing what you have to check is the 7th house. Okay, now because marriage is also like in India, or there are so many countries where marriage is where two family meets and it's an event of the family as well. So second house represents the family. Second house also represents your accumulated wealth and speech and then food, but second house also represents your family. So second house along with 7th house is important for any marital life. Means when marriage will happen, for those type of analysis. So those things should be considered. And then 11th house, that means fulfillment of desire. That means if somebody wants to get married, then if 7th house along with 11th house come, then that marriage usually happens. So this 2nd, 7th and 11th, these three houses are very important for a marriage. For marriage, like 2nd house, 7th house and 11th house are important. So if someone is asking whether that marriage will be love marriage or arranged marriage, then you have to check whether along with this 2, 7 and 11, 5th house is also in relation or not, because 5th house is telling about love, romance, affection. That also represents your fan. So 5th house is all about love. So if there is a relation between 5th house and 7th house, that means the chances of love marriage is very high. That's one of the condition. Now somebody asks whether will I get dowry. Like in India usually the dowry system is there. So dowry is basically unearned money. That's the money which you have not put effort out of that. So 8th house is all the money related to that. It is showed by the 8th house. Like if somebody is win something in gambling or something which is not put much effort, so dowry is also come part of that. So along with 2, 7, 11, if 8th house is also coming, that means that shows that people will also get the dowry. And 4th house, it is vehicle. So if it is 4th house along with the 8th house and 2, 7, 11 is there, that means people may get car or vehicle or big properties out of that, land or something, because 4th house represents those things. So this is what I want to convey here is like along with this marriage 7th house, the other house, what it is represent that when join that, and it is very in strong condition when join, then along with marriage these other events also take place. So we have to consider the primary house for marriage is 7th house for sure, and then fulfillment of desire 11th house. So these two houses are very important. Now we have seen Fourth house we have seen, fifth house we have seen, eighth house we have seen, 11th house. Like that, the other houses and their properties also associate when it joins along with 2, 7, 11 in during the marriage time. It means when the Mahadasha, Antardasha and Pratyantardasha of these planets who are associated with that. When I say associated, you have to check their presence along with their constellation, in which constellation they are sitting. Suppose the planet Sun, and it is sitting in the constellation of Saturn, and Saturn represent your 7th house. For example, Cancer ascendant. You are going through Mahadasha of Sun, and Sun is sitting in the constellation of Saturn, and Saturn is ruling 7th house. So Sun, the chances Sun will give the marriage in their Mahadasha. And now if Saturn is also associated with, like how I told, 8th house here, their chances are dowry. So like that, you have to check all those combinations. So when I say this combination, and those should be strong combination, it's not just it is relation. Like that, if you see the main chart along with, if you see the moon chart, like how I told in the moon, how to see moon chart, in that if your moon chart is strong, and if it is stronger than your ascendant chart, then see which house, which one is showing the 7th house, which one is strongly influencing the 7th house. We have seen 2nd house, we have seen 7th house, we have seen 11th house, we have seen 5th house, then 4th house, then 8th house. If it is 3rd house is also associated with that, that means the marriage will happen in the nearby. Either it is in nearby relation or nearby city, or like that. It won't be very far. Likewise, if it is associated with 9th and 12th house, that means marriage will happen far in foreign land or something, because 9th and 12th house represent the foreign land. 9th house journey and 12th house that. And if it is 2, 7, 11 and 12 house is also there, that means the marriage, the expenditure in the marriage will be high, because 12th house shows the expenditure. Now we come to the planet. Which planets are significator of marriage? The planet is, single planet is Venus. I have read some article that somebody is telling Mars is also represent the husband, or Jupiter is also husband. But in my analysis, I have seen whether it's a husband or wife, Venus is the common significator for the marriage. And it represents the opposite sex basically. Now, if Venus is in very good conditions, and it is really not afflicted by malefics, or it is situated in good condition, then chances are your marital life will be good, because Venus itself represents, strongly represents that marriage and marital life. Moreover, if your 7th house is not afflicted with malefics, then your marital life again chances are very good. If 7th lord also it is not afflicted by malefics, then chances are your marriage life is good. So like that, we can see the 7th house, 7th lord and Venus, if it is in good position, then chances of marital life is good. And 5th house, if it is also representing, means your all the planets or maximum planets, if it is representing your 5th house, that means 5th house is about love, and also showing the 7th house, that means your marriage and marital life. So that means these two things will show that your marriage life will be good. So this is how you can see all the houses and importance of all the house in the marriage. But bottom line is 7th house, prime house for marriage. Venus is the prime significator for marriage, and if these two are good condition and it is strongly showing in any Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pratyantardasha, then at that time marriage will be good. Or even though if you are married and again these your planets are showing the 7th house, that means your relation with the spouse will be good. So I'll make separate video, in that I will take example, and I will discuss about when marriage will happen, and in that we will discuss about importance of transit in happening any events. So we should not go directly to the transit. Means if your Mahadasha, Antardasha and Pratyantardasha is showing, making sure like this event will happen, then go to the transit. And if your Mahadasha, Antardasha and Pratyantardasha is promising this is the time of marriage, and then go to the transit and see. So in transit, if Jupiter is associated with 7th house or 7th lord, then the chances of marriage is very high, because whenever marriage happens, definitely there is a relation with Jupiter, with the 7th house and 7th lord in the transit, or the planet which is sitting in the constellation of 7th house lord. If Jupiter is aspecting them, then also the chances are very high people will get married. So thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, subscribe below or small YouTube tiny icon. And if you have any question related to this topic, please visit my website www.astrobasic.com in ask question section. And if you have any question related to your life, or you want astrology consulting, then you can also visit my website www.astrobasic.com ask question section, and I have given all the description in my link. And don't forget to like my Facebook page as well, and stay tuned. See you in next video. Bye bye. Event in any individual, we can analyze, or we can see in three ways. One thing is actual event happen in your life. Second thing, how you are feeling about that event. Third things, how other people, this world, see that events is happening in your life. So what are the events?